Welcome to the podcast. We talk about all the things that are hidden in the shadows. This is Isaac.
And this is Megan.
And on today, well, we were going to look for more like witch hauntings, but
but there's
it's
not
slim pickings.
Yeah, there's not that much. Like I thought, like when I started, because I don't know why, I feel like I felt like I had researched this before and there was like crazy amounts of stories. And then when we actually got researching, obviously the Bell Witch is the main thing.
Well, kind of a few other little things, but like, about 90%.
Yeah. I mean, some of the stuff, dates back to the witch trial days in Salem and all that stuff, and around that, New England area. So there's little hauntings here and there based off of that. But I feel like the Bell Witch was like the cream of the crop as far as witch haunting goes. And when we talk a witch haunting, it's basically like someone that like clearly claims themselves as a witch. Like I feel like my definition of it.
They claim to be a witch and now they're dead.
Yeah. And so they take kind of like that essence to them, after the grave, and like their haunting, almost like quote unquote style is, craziness. Like, for instance, and obviously it's more darker. It's a darker entity. Like the Bell Witch, for example, the crazy amount of stuff that she was able to do, especially on like the physical person as far as illnesses and stuff goes. You'll see kind of like the difference between like a traditional like entity, like haunting thing, and then like this kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, funny enough, with our haunted update of the week, so I'm becoming slowly more proficient with my ability. But as was that a plane?
Yeah.
A low-flying plane in the middle of the fucking night.
Yeah. Where are you going?
Anyway.
Like jets.
Yeah, probably. I become more proficient in the ability of what and how I absorb, or how much. And you apparently have had some dark spirits trying to get you.
Yeah. Not trying to get me. I've obviously every now and then I get like a darker thing kind of, test its boundaries. I have been having a crazy amount of hearing my name though. And it's been like women, it's been men's voice, it's been like a different kids. Like it's crazy how much I've heard my name within the last like maybe week and a half. So it could just obviously be someone trying to talk. But last night we actually had a weird thing. I was laying on my stomach because I'm a stomach sleeper. I've always been. Even when I was a kid, I always slept on my stomach, and I still to this day, like kind of like sleep on my stomach and hug the pillow. Anyways, I was just laying, like I was just relaxing. I wasn't going to sleep. And Isaac was like, "Hey, I feel something." All of a sudden, from the top of my back to like my middle of my back, I felt almost like the same sensation you get when you put icy hot on. And it was like, it got like cool and then it would get hot and then cool and then hot. It was very, very weird. And it wasn't like I felt anything like sitting on me or anything like that. It was just like, or a touch or anything like that. It was just like that sensation. I know with me personally, when like I am in contact with my spirit guides, I always feel like a hand, like a full hand, like on my back, like kind of like patting my back. And it's like completely different. Like it was a completely different feeling. Like I did not feel, and I feel like peaceful and relaxed, obviously when my spirit guides are around. But it's always at the center of my back. And so this was like all over, and it felt like I said, the best way to explain it is icy hot. Like it gets cold, then hot, then cold, then hot. It was very weird.
So, actually a few nights before I was, feeling around the room when you were in there, and I was, started feeling things. Because what I've figured out and I discovered, and I think I've been asked about it on a live before, is my left hand can feel and absorb human spirits or non-evil spirits, essentially. And then my right hand absorbs evil spirits to possibly demonic spirits, or at least can sense and feel them. So when I feel something on the right hand, I know it's something dark.
Yeah.
And I reach out and I pull, and I can pull it, but pulling with my right is like, it's like pulling not smoke, like my left. It's like almost pulling sand. It's more of a thicker material, more pungent. and I did it before, and the one that I did absorbing whoever was that, hurting your back, actually hurt my hand.
Yeah.
Like caused like the center of my palm to be ached.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was like I don't know, like I was like gripping like a death grip on like I don't know, ball or something. Just like that, my whole center of my palm was just like sore.
Yeah. And it was kind of funny because our subject matter before, like we were talking back and forth, and we had been talking about like evil spirits and stuff like that. And it's kind of funny that happened like in cohesiveness with that.
Yeah.
So kind of weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely hearing my name called, like whisper. Sometimes it sounds like a plane. I was actually we were sending voice messages instead of texting, and I was sending a voice message to a friend of mine, and I am in the middle of this thing, and I hear it sounded like my grandmother had said Megan. We live with my grandmother, so I thought she had said like at the door Megan. And I, got up because I thought the next thing she was going to like come through the door, but then I didn't hear anything or whatever. And I was like, oh crap, someone said my name, and it actually caught it on the recording.
Yeah, I maybe listened to it, and I didn't hear your name called, but I did hear like a, like a breath.
Yeah. And I think because I don't want to put her like, so everyone can listen, or know who she is, but my friend, she has abilities too, so it could have been too like she heard it, you know what I mean, because she not telepathically, but you know what I mean, like used her abilities also to hear this person. But yeah, it was really clear. It was like Megan, like I'm a regular person, like Megan. I was like, whoa, pretty intense.
And other news, you made it. Or you're making it when you start getting some hate.
Yeah.
And we got a first
1-star review
who threw some shade at us.
Yeah. I mean, he was so, and this is also, we're bringing this up.
I don't know his name.
Yeah, I don't know either. It was, we're bringing this up because as also a disclaimer, because this is, when we started this podcast, we were brand spanking new to podcasting, and we started that, so when we started the podcast, we're brand new to everything. And, that's something that we'd like to be transparent to you guys about and say, like, we're working on our sound quality. We're working on everything, speaking on our part and storytelling and everything like that. So, I mean, we are new to this, but, we had, they said, and it's kind of funny because, I mean, it said not that good in the subject. And then in quote, it was like amateurs, sad face.
Yeah. You're going to hear some of the fans go, what?
Yeah. No.
The funny thing is, we never claimed to be pros.
Yeah, we're not professionals. We've never like gone out and done serious research. It's just, first of all, the paranormal has always followed us. We've always experienced it.
Yep.
And we just wanted to take an approach where we ourselves could say, yeah, we're researching some of these subjects, and yeah, we haven't experienced everything, but the paranormal is something that's in our everyday lives. And I know, like, every single day I deal with the paranormal in some shape or form, whether it's reaching out to people, whether it's, talking with other mediums, whether it's, feeling or seeing or hearing something myself. So we haven't done, and I never want to claim, because the people that actually go out there and research and investigate, they're on another level because they're out there doing the stuff, Well,
we're not paranormal investigators yet.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Eventually, though.
But yeah, maybe that's an avenue we'll go down. Like I can't tell you any of the equipment. I know like the basic stuff, like Spirit Box and REM pods. I don't know if that's an actual thing.
Do you ever watch Ghost Adventures?
I do. Isn't there something called a REM pod though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like a pacifier.
Yeah. So as far as going out there and doing the investigations, doing the research, and trying to find, evidence and stuff like that, no, we don't necessarily do that. But as far as like experiencing stuff, I would say we're pretty much pros. I mean, I know like me, no, actually I wouldn't even call us pros, because we haven't dealt with darker stuff that much. I've never seen an exorcism. I really don't
You know what I
want to.
keep telling people?
Huh?
I think I said this on Tuttle, the interview, and other ones I've been on. We're paranormal enthusiasts.
Yeah.
Right? In a sense that we are surrounded by it consistently.
Mm-hmm.
And me and you, individually, I think I've seen more. You have kind of put yourself away because you didn't want to get into it
Yeah.
when you were young when I met you. And then I was extremely fascinated, so I learned as much as I could.
Mm-hmm.
And as I, of course, get older and through the years, I've been studying more and more and more, especially how hauntings work, how spirits work, anything that deals with demons and stuff like that, equipment that would be used from my years of watching Ghost Adventures and other paranormal shows.
Yeah.
And then that's basically where I lie. Am I practiced with this stuff? No, of course not. But you ask any like football fan who's like extremely into it, he can name me stuff that's, you know, in there. I would say football fan, yeah, about the same, like a pro wrestling fan too, especially nowadays when they're like in the know with like all the lingo and stuff, but you still haven't wrestled.
Yeah.
So
you don't
you can
know that
know
aspect.
everything you can and like say, well, even that's a bad thing to put an example for us because we experience stuff on a daily basis.
But we don't actually go and...
We ain't made it to the major leagues yet.
Yeah, we haven't actually gone out there. You know, it's basically stuff comes to us.
Yeah.
We haven't gone looking for the stuff yet.
No.
And so, we can't. Two, we've only, we've been in the podcasting game less than a year. Almost a year, but less than a year. As far as, really diving into paranormal stuff other than, on the side... still under a year. So for me, I don't even say my abilities, I have only started digging into them within this year. So by all means, yes, I would consider us kind of amateurs in the fact of going out there investigating and whatever, but I would say we're probably at an intermediate level as far as experiencing stuff. I'm still
test my knowledge.
I'm still a noob as far as diving into the abilities. Have I done a 180-degree turn from the time I started the podcast till now? Yeah, I think we're pretty good as far as we're getting better at the editing. We're getting better at the social media side of things. We're getting better at sound quality. We're getting better at, speaking, I think, and being more comfortable in front of the mics and stuff like that.
I've always been comfortable.
Well, but you know what I mean? Like saying a lot of ums and yeahs and likes. Even though that's my everyday speech.
Don't bring that out into the light. Because the second you start saying, people are going to start counting. I know I do it when I hear myself. Yeah. And yes, I listen to my own podcast just because I want to see if any EVPs, but also things to work on myself with.
Yeah.
I don't know if the guys at Blue Mazar listen to their own stuff.
I don't know. They're pretty good. They're good at talking. Yeah. I give them that. They're good at articulation and storytelling and whatever.
But if you want to go back and count all the ums and likes, there's one right there for you.
Definitely is my word too, definitely, or in a sense, or whatever.
Hey, here's one for you. Essentially, I use way too much.
Essentially.
And you can go back and listen to every episode and probably find 50 of them one episode.
Yeah, so we're learning, and it's okay to get, I'm fine with getting bad reviews. I'm not fine with it, but I know it's going to come, and it's one of those things that the more you grow, the more you're going to get it. Not everybody's going to like you. It's
I'm not against.
And plus, we're kind of in a niche that's you're going to have skeptics out there that think you're a crock. And I watched, there was this one psychic medium on TikTok that was legit. She was really good. She was pinpointing things, and this guy ripped her apart. Just totally said she's a frock. She doesn't know what she's doing, whatever. And it was brutal, what he said about her. She did it in a very, she was an older lady. So she really, you could tell there's a lot of wisdom with her. So she took him down, kind of rebutted him, but not in a low class, cheesy kind of way. He went after her. He does have an account where he debunks things. That's his thing on TikTok. But it's going to come in this kind of thing. And there's probably, people out there too that are going to say, oh, how can you be Christian and do paranormal stuff? You're going to have people like that. And there could be even people that just don't like your vibe and just, So,
well, I'm not one for criticism, right? I like actually, and I want to hear constructive criticism.
Yeah.
Constructive. If you're just going to straight and go, you suck. All right.
Yeah.
How's that help me?
And I think that's the problem too I have sometimes with these reviews is I don't want all 5-star reviews because I don't feel like we're perfect yet. And I feel like 5-star reviews are, they're as high as you can go. And I don't
some
think-
people give them more freely.
Yeah, I know. I'm a 5-star giver too. I tend to do that. You have to be really like for me to really go low. But like there's this one person that will give us like listen to every episode but give us low ratings on Podchaser. And that's fine, but I can't ask, there's no way for me to ask him like, what is it that you don't like about us? You know, to better us.
But if he's listening to every episode, I don't think he doesn't. He likes us.
I mean,
right?
it's not low. It's not low. That was the first ever 1 star. We got like some episodes have 3 stars from him. Some episodes have 4 stars. But I just want to ask him like, what would give you a 5 star? Like what?
All right,
you
I'm
know?
not chasing the hug. All right.
Yeah, I know. That's true, I guess. No, I just like, sometimes I don't know. I obviously want to know how we can improve or whatever. So if anybody listening has ways of us, ideas for us to improve on things or what you wish maybe we would do a little bit different, we're not like a mean bunch. So you could send it to us in a DM and we'll kind of.
I think majority of the people that listen to us and like us.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like us because of our personality.
Yeah.
Like us because we don't take it too seriously.
Yeah.
Right? We don't overtake it too seriously. That's the point.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Because we, together, are a naturally, bubbly is kind of the wrong word I want to use, but.
Not bubbly, but we're down to earth, I feel like.
Yeah.
We're not, I mean, Isaac is definitely more of the serious one. I think.
In interviews.
No, I think in life you're more serious. Like you don't do prank. Like I'm more of
What
like.
does my name mean?
What is it name?
What does my name mean?
Isaac?
Yeah, what does it mean?
I don't know.
It means laughter.
Oh my gosh. Okay. No, but I'm always like the corny one and stuff. And he's like, I find like a lot of
I can be
videos-
funny, but you are just like straight like cringe corny.
Oh my God. No, I'm not.
No one makes you laugh more than you.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
I kind of want to get that on a t-shirt. I am my favorite comedian.
See? Like that. That'd be a sticker in our sticker pack.
Yeah. We're still working on that, by the way. It's going to get out sooner or later. It's going to be like all of our best quotes on stickers. So.
Can everybody figure it out? We're just doing filler.
No. This is good conversation to have. And I think, as we start inching towards our year mark, we still have a little bit, but, more than halfway there. So I think it's important to say that. And
Well, hopefully by the year mark in September.
No, what?
I feel like we started September.
No,
When did we
good
start?
sir. We started back in July. No, June. It's either May, June, or
NYAC
July.
started in July.
No, NYAC started in April. That's
Yeah.
when the stay-at-home order started. Remember,
Oh, yeah, that's
April
right.
5th.
Yeah.
So we started NYAC like 2-3 months later. Yeah, I want to say it
All
was
right, never mind. I
July.
got to change my timetable because I was thinking, I could probably take vacation in September so we can go back to Texas and, do the live from the ranch. But I guess July would work as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, on to the show.
Point of the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that we're like more than halfway in.
Now, I first learned about the
Mhm.
Bell Witch from Ghost Adventures. Like
Yeah.
I do most famous hauntings because, I don't actively look for haunted stuff and I just let it come to my way. But what I learned from the episode and did my own little research too, because apparently there's a lot of books written on it as well.
Mhm.
By different authors and diaries from members of the family, the Bell family. I
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
some
shoot.
diaries and stuff.
There's a lot of stuff that you were telling me that, like, because I saw like a vague overview of it. But you were saying stuff like I was like, oh crap, I didn't know that was part of it. Oh crap, I didn't know that was part of it.
Yeah, so we're gonna go in depth with it, but here's a general overview.
Yeah.
The Bell Witch hauntings, surrounded by the Bell Witch Cave, is a cave that's near the Bell's family. Now, the Bell family, Bell, right, are the ones that were affected by it, hence the
Mhm.
name. They had the Bell Cave, which was near their property.
Mm-hmm.
Which was I think the father's name was Jonathan Bell.
No. Yeah, John Bell.
John Bell.
Yeah, he was actually a farmer from North Carolina, moved to Adams, Tennessee, I think is where
Yes.
it is. Adams, Tennessee, with over 300 acres of land.
Yeah. So he had a family,
Mhm.
including a daughter, couple of daughters actually.
Mm-hmm.
I think he had a son. The youngest was a son.
Mm-hmm.
He also had a son-in-law, which I think was married to one of his daughters that lived with him there.
Mm-hmm.
And they started experiencing things when Jonathan's youngest son, I think was also named Jonathan,
Mm-hmm.
when him and his friend, which was like a neighbor,
Mm-hmm.
family friends, their families were friends, so
Yeah.
the two boys were playing together always on the farm. There was this large mound that was above the cave
Mm-hmm.
that was near the Bell's family. Right? They dug it up, and they were digging around it, and they found a skull,
Oh,
a human skull. They picked it up and carried it back to the house.
Why would you do that?
Who the fuck knows? And one of the teeth from that skull
Get outta
fell and
here.
got stuck into the floorboards.
That's the part that I never actually read that part.
Yeah. Now, I don't remember, or I remember reading anything about them putting the skull back. I think they did, but the tooth was still there. They probably couldn't find her, and they didn't
Who
give a
the
shit
hell
about
brings
it.
a human skull? I guess it
They're
was that
kids.
time. What would you
Kids
do
in
if
the
Killian,
1800s?
What if Killian brought
I mean,
in
now,
a
yeah,
head
I was
skull?
like, there's a dead body buried in the backyard somewhere. But, I mean, back then, they probably thought it was like,
normal just to see
or
dead.
Soldiers. Well, the kids probably thought like maybe like it was an old skull from like a long time ago or something.
Oh, hell no. I still would not.
But the reason why spooky stuff started happening is because that mound that was above that cave was an Indian burial ground.
Oh, no.
Right?
Yeah.
It was believed that the tribe, which I forgot who they were, you probably look it up. The tribe that was there that buried their families in that mound believed that the cave was a portal to another dimension, to the spiritual realm. That's why they buried above the cave. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So when they disturb... Oh, excuse me. I'm full. I know I always eat before, but Megan always makes good food, so...
Yeah.
Anyway, when disturbances started happening, like things moving around the house, hearing knocks and stuff, and what was really starting to get weird, before things started getting extreme, was they started seeing animals, strange animals in the woods. The first thing they saw was a dog, well, a dog-sized animal with the head of a rabbit and the body of a dog.
Ew.
That was about the size of a dog. So you imagine
Yeah.
a rabbit's head about the size of a dog.
Mm-mm.
All black
No
with red
thanks.
eyes, right? In the woods. It's funny enough, in the diary or depiction, the story that was written by an author who got his stuff from it, there's a painting in it that shows, now I don't know if they saw this, but there's a painting of a donkey with the face of a man.
Mm.
It's in the illustrations. So yeah, weird stuff in the woods. And then it started getting more extreme, to a point where their daughter, what was her name? Maribel? No, that sounds weird.
Betsy.
Betsy. All right, Betsy Bell.
Mary.
Betsy!
Who the hell is Maribel?
I don't know.
Is that even a name?
I'm thinking of old names from that period of time.
Go on, sir, get Maribel and bring her to the cabin.
They had like 5 names to choose from in that period of time. All right.
Sorry.
Like I guess like how like Ashley was a popular name, like I don't know, 5 or 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Betsy Bell, she started getting attacked, being slapped,
Oh, yeah.
being mildly possessed,
And even, like, pins were pushed into
Yeah.
her. Oh, man.
which they equivalent to a witch. Then again,
Yeah.
back in that, I have a theory on why they thought a witch, but back in that period of time, that's automatically what you went to. Witch, witch, about everything.
Yeah.
Things escalated to a point where one night, the son-in-law, the one I spoke of earlier, actually took a blanket and wrapped it around the entity that he assumed was the Bell Witch.
Mm-hmm.
He had it in his arms under the blanket.
Mhm.
It was fighting him and stuff like that. And he was going to throw it into the fireplace that was lit, the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Every inch that he got closer to that fire, it got heavier in his arms. To a point
Wow.
where he got close enough that he dropped it because he couldn't carry it anymore. And it ran out of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then they didn't really see much hauntings after that.
I'm curious though why. Like, I know the parts that and stuff that I was reading is that like her thing was to kill John Bell, which, you know, eventually that's what she did. But the father.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder why him. He didn't touch the head, right? It was the boy that touched the head.
The youngest son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why did she go after him so fiercely, I wonder?
I have to read those diaries and stuff like that from different point of views, but they all talk about how the house was like poltergeist. I'm trying to make sure I say it right. Level hauntings, right? Crazy shit happening. It was so extreme to the point where doctors, lawmen, right? Even some clergy apparently showed up there and they said, yeah, this place is messed up. It was the most reported infamous case of that period of time. What year did it take place? I keep forgetting.
Oh, what year? It was, they moved into the house in 1804, but
That's
it
right.
didn't start until like 1816, I believe.
Yeah.
So.
I couldn't remember. It was like, wait, was it like early? Like 1800s? That's like not like witch kind of thing going on. But, you scared people.
Yeah.
But no, it's still a time and period where people were, not say extremely superstitious, but still superstitious.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people, and I think that's part too why like witch type hauntings occurred, because you think whether a person was a witch or not, they were getting executed. And it was like, I mean, it was brutal deaths. It wasn't like, you know, so if a person, say, was a witch but wasn't into dark stuff, just, you know, like healing and stuff like that, and they were burned for being a witch, they could, I mean, that would piss them off, so their spirit would be probably pissed off. And even the dark ones, I mean, you know, into the darker stuff, probably still would be pissed off at the fact that they got burned at the stake. And I think the kind of unique thing, and you'll see this with the Bell Witch, is the fact that they go away and then vouch to come back and they come back. You know what I mean? Like, I wonder if anybody that, I don't know. It's kind of interesting.
I just looked this up. Well, you're talking, I looked something up. Yeah, I don't remember reading this.
What?
Or at least hearing about this. Anyway. In a book.
Mm-hmm.
Whose book? Anyway. Oh yeah, Ingram. I guess he wrote like an authentic history of the book. He said that the poltergeists, right? It's poltergeist level activity. His name was Kate. Right? The Bell Witch was Kate. His name was Kate. Kate. Kate.
That's interesting.
He claimed at one point, or it claimed at one point to be Old Kate Batts.
Oh yeah, I did read something.
Old Kate Batts Witch. And continued responded favorably to the name, which I don't remember hearing that. I always thought it was Bell Witch. All right.
That was probably something that came later on. You know what I mean? That started by word of mouth.
Yeah. And the reason why she attacked the youngest daughter, Betsy, is because she, Kate, the witch, showed great displeasure about her marrying Joshua.
Yeah.
Gardner, whoever his name was.
Yeah.
Whatever the reason.
But she eventually, Betsy broke it off with Josh.
Yeah.
Or is it Josh?
Yeah.
Josh. And some of the activity kind of faded after that. But then once the father died, which there was a thing that the father died, he had declining health. He one day was...
Ooh, I didn't read this.
What?
Betsy, along with them, others seeing like weird creatures in the woods and stuff like that, right? Betsy apparently saw a young girl in a green dress swinging from the tree. Didn't say she was hanging, but I mean,
swinging from the tree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
So that was like, holy shit. Yeah.
Oh, there was another one. I think. Oh, someone that was on the farm. I think like as a worker or something. What was the story? People that were there helping on the farm and stuff like that.
Was it James Johnson?
No, James Johnson was his friend.
Yeah.
That he had called over and basically to come experience. There's different variations whether it was just him or him and his wife stayed the night at the Bell residence. But they slept over and in the middle of the night basically heard everything that they had been hurting. And this was kind of early on where like the things going on in the house were just like basic haunting stuff, like names being called. This was before like the scratching and stuff of Betsy. It was just kind of like mild stuff, like the knocking, the whatever. He did hear something intense, and he, you know, basically yelled out to it like, "Who are you? What are you doing?" That kind of thing. Who are you? Where are you from? Like that kind of, you know, still stuff we kind of do today. And he ended up, it was after he had yelled and said all that stuff, it was a peaceful rest of the night. And the next morning, he went to John and was like, "Hey, you got something crazy in your house. It's definitely evil. Like the stuff you find in the Bible. Like you hear about in the Bible, I should say." Weird.
Guess what time it is?
Ad time.
No.
Oh.
Time for a word from our sponsor.
Oh.
Same thing. Anyway.
Yeah.
No. Today's episode is sponsored by H2O Capsule, the capsule for all your water drinking needs. I'm not going to do that. What the hell? All right, whatever.
Water.
Are you trying to do a water sound?
Yeah, but it didn't work. It sounded like weird. I don't know.
Okay. Anyway, H2O Capsule water bottle thing. Funny enough, I got this for a Christmas Secret Santa present, and yeah, I like it. And I've always been hunting for a good water bottle, and this actually works out well for me for working out and when I take it to the gym and when I actually go to work. Can hold your credit cards, can hold your keys, can hold your phone if you need it to. Can hold about more than half a gallon of water, so it lasts me all day. I got mine in black, but you can get yours any color you want, or at least the ones they have available.
Yeah, they have some like more feminine designs, like pink with like artsy.
You would be cool,
huh?
To get like a Hidden in the Shadows one.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah. Anyway, if you want to get your own, right, you can use our code, which is Shadows8, at checkout, either through the store or I think you can use it on Amazon, right?
I don't think they can use the discount code, but you can buy them on Amazon.
You can buy them on Amazon, but you can use the discount code at their website and get 10% off your purchase. So yeah, Shadows8.
Shadows8.
For 10% off.
10% off.
Okay. Continue what we were doing.
Okay. Yes. So where were we?
Talking about the stuff. With the
yes.
Yeah.
Now, I do think there are probably places in Salem and stuff like that, New England area, that are haunted because of all of that stuff that took place there. The executions and stuff like that. So, I don't know if I would classify it like though 100% that there's like witch hauntings there. There's definitely probably situations there, and if so be it, the person that died wasn't truly in fact practiced witchcraft, and like especially on the darker side, that maybe.
Well, there's a man
Uh-huh.
named Jonathan Corwin,
Mm-hmm.
who was a judge
Mhm.
in Salem for majority of the witch
Oh my
trials going on. Am I scaring you?
No, it's weird. I don't know.
So they also yelled anytime, like anything.
Yeah, no, they
Yeah.
did.
Anyway, his house
Mm-hmm.
is called the Witch House
Mm.
for its hauntings. Right. This is the other one that's supposedly that was haunted. I don't know by witches, but about the spirits that he condemned to death.
Yeah, I would, and that would make total sense because I mean, it was very well. That time in general was just very violent, very dark. So
I don't call it the dark times for nothing.
yeah, this took over. You know, the whole witch trial thing. I mean, it was like 2 centuries that it occurred over. From I think it's like the 15th century all the way to the 18th century, or even further than that.
Yeah. But I'm gonna get to my theory here in a minute.
Mhm.
But the witch, a Bell witch, right, named Kate, referred to John Bell Sr., right, not the kid, as Old Jack. And the witch claimed she intended to kill him
Yeah.
and signaled this to intention through curses, threats, afflictions, blah, 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 blah. I guess things got to the highest level when she began trying to poison him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, what happened was he slipped into a coma and died.
Yeah.
It was basically, he got worse and worse and worse. Because I think at one point he actually had paralysis of his mouth.
Yeah.
And so she would apparently do like crazy, like health related things to them and her or him. And, eventually one day he slipped in a coma and that evening he died. Well, when the Bell Witch paid a visit at some point to his wife, his widow.
Yeah.
And the kids or someone like a group of them had just been, like, I guess dealing with what was going on. And they had found a black liquid in the cupboard. And when they gave it to the cat to see what the heck was going on, they gave it to the cat and the cat died instantly. Yeah. Give it to your pet to see if oh my gosh.
Yeah, kitty, test this out for me.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's dead. Oh.
Yeah. No. Yeah, but it died instantly.
Now, this haunting, the Bell Witch haunting,
Yeah.
I said a little before that was popular and famous. It was so popular and famous, people would come around across the country to see and hear the things that moved around. They would even ask the witch questions.
Yeah.
The ghost of the spirit, right?
Yeah.
And they would answer sometimes, right? Apparently, when John Bell died, right, his funeral was interrupted by somebody singing drinking songs.
Yeah.
Which they blamed on the Bell Witch.
This is what started, like, it would start off like little bangs and, like things in the wood in the house, like, bangs on the walls and stuff like that. Like little things you technically kind of hear at the beginning of a haunting. Then they actually heard what sounded like something was gnawing on the bedpost.
Yeah.
Right. And then it would get to the slaps and the pinches and the hits. But then it was like the entity, the witch, got a voice. And, they would hear her sing. Then they would hear her laugh. Then I'm pretty sure it wasn't like that.
I
It was
don't know. I
probably
wish I had
more
recorded.
like human. That would be crazy. That would be crazy. But definitely something that, nah.
I mean, this haunting was so popularized and so famous for its time that, of course, there's a movie made. I think there's several.
Yeah,
right?
there's several. Yeah.
That you probably go watch. I've never seen it. Probably kind of gonna watch it now after figuring stuff out. But,
Oh no, I
What?
did not know. Oh wow, that's interesting. That movie, I think it's a movie, An American Haunting.
yeah.
That's from 2005. That's based off the Bell Witch.
Did I ever watch it?
I don't know.
I don't remember
2005.
either. 2005, the year before I graduated, so...
It's female directed, which is kind of cool. There's over 20 books written on the subject. So the director, screenwriter, was all Courtney Solomon. They had a pretty big budget for it, but the release date was 2006, actually, in the United States. They got I don't know, IMDb, I think, that
IMDb.
movie, yeah. They gave it a 5.1 out of 10 stars, so.
it's half good.
It's got Donald Sutherland as John Bell.
Hey, who cares?
Hey, I'm just letting you guys know.
Yeah. I'll probably watch it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The main criticism, though, is like they had famous casting for such a standard, creakingly fake, spooky ghost story. I feel like if they did that now, like that movie now, it might be better. I feel like if a director really wanted to, they could make. But then when they redo like haunted stories like that, it's like they try and fake it too much. You know what I mean? Like try and make it like, oh, but like if you just kind of really like what they should do is like
go to Conjuring.
Yeah.
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 For
I
example.
feel like, yeah. Like, even the La Llorona movies, I don't think...
Hey,
What?
growing up
Well,
Mexican,
I guess you grew
all right?
up... Yeah.
or Hispanic, essentially like that. That was our goddamn ghost story of all time.
Yeah. Oh, shoot.
What?
I just saw images from the movie. Some of that stuff is kind of creepy. Ugh.
Anyway, so my theory.
Mhm.
The whole gist of this,
Mhm.
right, started by disturbing the Indigo burial ground.
Yeah.
Now, I forgot to say this. Mr. John Bell and his friend tried digging up that burial ground trying to find treasure. Because they didn't know it was Indigo burial ground until after we were told that.
Yeah.
They thought it was just someone's dead body next to treasure. So not only did his son disturb it, John Bell really disturbed it with his friend by actually digging up more bodies. And then reburying it not the right way. So that's probably caused things to escalate. So, my theory
Mm-hmm.
is it's not a witch.
You don't think so?
It claimed to be it. I think it was a forceful rage, built up energy created by Native American curse for disturbing their burial ground, i.e. poltergeist,
Mhm.
and it gave itself a name. It gave itself a name and a persona that would strike fear into people of that time. Would it have strike more fear as during the Salem witch trials? Oh, yeah. But
Oh, yeah.
Salem witch trials took place in the 1400s, right?
No, Salem Witch Trials.
16. Or 1400s. They didn't discover America yet.
Salem Witch Trials were between
1600s, right?
1692 and 1693. So it was only like a little over a year. More than 200 people were accused. 30 were found guilty, 19 of whom were executed by hanging. I know I saw this movie. Or documentary, actually. It was a legend type of like documentary. It was weird, and I would spend time at the library when I was a kid, and I would read urban legends. I would read urban legends and stuff like that. So I found this. It was a VHS, mind you. It wasn't even a DVD. It was a VHS.
I read Age Yourself there.
Yeah, I
The
know.
kid's going, what the VHS?
Yeah, well, back in my day. Anyways, so it was a VHS, and it was like really crappy quality, but it had to do with North Carolina, like legends, because I was living in North Carolina here, to be exact. North Carolina legends that terrify you. And like it was almost like it gave me the kind of like feeling of Goosebumps, and I used to watch that a lot and read the books. So it makes sense. Anyways, it was about, because we have a Winston-Salem here, and apparently, like, during the colonial times, because even though the witch trials were 1692 to 1693, the 15th century all the way down to the 19th century, there was still persecution of people that they thought were witches, right? And so even though it wasn't as serious as the Salem witch trials, there were still persecutions and stuff like that. And, so this guy, I forgot why they thought he was a witch, but he got hanged or executed of some sort, convicted of being a witch. And he apparently comes back and gives whoever is the sheriff of that town. I don't know if it was talking about Winston-Salem, North Carolina, or it's another, like, it's not Salem, Massachusetts, but it's like in North Carolina. But basically he gives like the leading sheriff of the town some kind of bad ailment or some kind of bad, and they see him. Everyone has claimed that has been a sheriff of this town has seen the ghost of this guy, and they always get some kind of weird ailment. Like maybe one might be going blind. Another one might be losing his hearing. Another one might have a weird like stomach problem or weird rashes on him or something like that. Some of them might even die. Like it's a disease that, you know. Yeah.
On to continue my theory.
Sorry. I just thought I should put that out there. I forgot. I think I said about it on a show before, but I'm not sure.
Anyway.
Episode.
So, it manifests itself as a witch to cause fear into those people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it wanted to take its revenge. Take its revenge on Mr. John Bell. Why him and not the kid who dug up the skull? Probably because the kid only dug up a skull and actually dug up their grave. And that portal, if the Native Americans are true, which we probably do an episode on Native Americans and how they were so connected to the spiritual realm. But they believed that the cave was an access to the other side, or easier access, let's say, right? So they were probably angered, and they probably used, if it was an access, which that cave alone has got its own level of crazy crap, used it to strike fear into John Bell and his family to possibly leaving or just torturing them. Right?
Yeah.
And using the avatar, you would say, of the Bell Witch as a means to, upset them. So that's my theory.
With this story, the Bell Witch goes to Lucy Bell and says, "Hey, I'll be paying your son. I'm going away, but I'll pay your son a visit in 7 years." Comes back. There wasn't anything necessarily bad that happened. I think with I think his name was John Bell Jr. or something. He was a junior.
Or Dennis and Richard.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. That's weird. Okay. But he saw the witch, like they had apparently like quote unquote a conversation, which I thought that was weird. Why they would classify that as a conversation. Anyways. But then she left again and said, "Well, I will be back." I think it was 107 years, and visit your descendant. So that would have made it in the 1930s. And in the 1930s, there was a descendant of the Bell family, but there's no real evidence. I think he had a diary out. He wrote a diary about like his family's, like how that has transpired over the generations, but there was no yes or no that he was visited by that. So here's a question. I have made a post about, I want to know, and we're going to start doing this on a regular basis on our conversation topic. I made a post that you could have sent it to us in the little like question submission thing, or, DM'd us or commented. But if you had any questions leading up to the episode, you submit them and we'll either answer them on here or on like a short little like Instagram video on our page or whatever. We did get one. And it was from the Bigfoot Society, so shout out to him. They asked, "Do you think the Bell Witch is still active today?"
Well, according to the Ghost Adventures episode that was recorded almost 6 years ago now. Yeah, I could tell that because Zach was still, muscular and not the skinny, frail man that he is now. If there's something going wrong with him, then it's evident in his physical appearance. But we can get into that some other time.
Yeah.
When they recorded what they did there, that place, the cave in the house.
Well, you can go to the cave as like a tourist, which I think, why?
And they tell people not to take rocks from the cave.
Yeah, that makes sense, and people still do that.
Because people have done that and have had things happen to them horribly.
Jeez.
From accidents to illnesses to just plain bad luck altogether, to the point where they mail back the rocks that they took.
Well, see, so that kind of plays into, that might just be the Indian burial ground thing. That may not be the witch itself.
Well, that's most likely. But it probably is still active because the stuff they recorded there. Where you guys, I should just watch an episode. There's a lot of episodes of Ghost Adventures you should watch, but that's like probably one if you're interested in the Bell Witch stuff. They catch a lot of cool stuff, and they get a lot of like intelligent answers. But they did this experiment in the cave where all these poles that were attached to electromagnetic field receptors. Then the poles would light up when anything is near it. That creates a field that usually ghosts give off. And the poles kept going off in a perfect circularization. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like it was creating an opening. Right? So, and they would get actually weird heat signatures and cold spots on a certain spot of the wall that looked like a door.
Jeez.
It had the shape of a door on the wall. So, is it still active? Oh, yeah. Is the Bell Witch still there? I don't know. Are spirits there? Yeah. Could that place be a opening to another world?
Yeah.
Probably.
Weird.
Just because of the activity
The
alone.
cave looks creepy. I don't like caves to begin with.
Well, I haven't been to one since
I would not. No.
I was a kid.
No. I would never go in a cave. Like, this is just leading to bad things. Like, even environmental things. Like, what if you don't, like, what if you get stuck somewhere? Like, that terrifies me. It really does.
Now you get stuck somewhere. What if you find a path that no one ever saw before, and you start going down deeper and deeper and deeper, and you find the people who live on the ground?
What?
Which is a topic for another episode. The Hollow Earth and giants.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But some people are like, what? Yeah.
We have a lot of kind of like, we kind of did some diving deep to kind of get some topics that are kind of unique, and we found some.
So to answer that question, yeah. Is she still there? I don't know. But is the place active? Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I think maybe not the witch itself, but the Indian burial
If you go
ground.
by my theory, right, then the Bell Witch is always there because the curse or the energy that created her is always still there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird. Would you ever go?
Yeah.
We should make that a trip one time.
Where's that? Tennessee?
Tennessee is
Not very
close to
far.
us. Yeah.
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 You know what's funny?
Ooh.
Johnson, right? The friend to John Bell had a grandmother who lived in North Carolina.
What?
So that makes me wonder if family line is somehow still here.
Oh, that's interesting. There's a lot of places that are intense like that are around this area. And that is maybe one thing that we're going to start doing is going to these places. We'll probably start local and maybe expand. You know, it's kind of hard with COVID and all that stuff. So, slowly but surely we'll start doing that. Like, I think one place for sure we're going to start is Wilmington. And there's New Bern. And there's like little, like, especially like the beach area towns. For sure. And kind of, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
In conclusion, right? The story of the Bell Witch has more evidence out there than anything. It's one of those famous American hauntings.
Mm-hmm. And I think too, there's a lot of hauntings that deal with that time period just because like it was brutal, violent, dark. You know what I mean? Like, ugh.
1800s is the Wild West days. We talking about dark.
It was still dark.
Oh, a lot of people died.
Violent.
A lot of people died. And because of that, we have a lot of ghosts now.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah, no, it's violent during those times.
Well, you called someone, your
Even-
mustache looks funny. Boom! You know,
Even
shoot
if you go a little bit further back, like even like you keep going back, but violent. I mean, it's still violent now, but I mean, like you can't just go around just. There wasn't really there was laws, but there wasn't really like persecution for the laws. I
It
feel
was
like
called the Wild West for a reason.
I know, wild.
Yeah.
Every time I hear Wild West, wasn't there a Will Smith song?
Wicked Wild Wild West.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember having to do like a dance to that in
Yeah, your school was lame.
school. Or no, we had like a weird cafeteria dance party things.
Yeah, that was like weird crap when you think about it. When now we're older, how they would make us do dance routines
Oh yeah.
as like a whole grade. At the end of the class, we all do it. And like every
Yeah.
every grade had their own like dance routine to
Yeah.
some song, right?
Yeah.
What the hell is that ritual crap?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I remember sometimes PE would be like dance. Like I remember in middle school they had the option whether you could do dance class or do like PE. And funny enough, I was huge into sports then, but I chose dance. That was pretty interesting. Right. Oh.
I've never seen you dance.
Not like full on dance. You've seen me kinda, but like I was actually pretty good, believe it or not. I was actually pretty good. I can actually bust a groove. Sorry. Oops. I'm editing that out.
Yeah.
That happens a lot to me. I apologize.
So, next week's episode is gonna be what?
Next week's episode. So
Is-
next week we are going to be doing, I know we had promised this before, but we are going to take to classified documents and like weird, like secret things that the Vatican has said that's kind of swept under the rug. Because because we were going to hold off on it because of the whole like 180 days things with the UFOs and aliens and stuff.
But they released it like 3 months early.
Yeah. But we were a little bit nervous because we didn't know if like more stuff was going to come out, and then we'd be like, oh crap, we forgot these important documents, But if that happens, we'll just make a part 2 instead of,
And I've been reading on the Gateway Project.
Yeah. And I have, because his thing is like the alien side of things. Mine
Gateway
is
Project's
like,
not aliens.
huh?
Gateway
I know,
Project
but
is
I'm
like
saying you're talking
psychic powers.
Yeah. But your research thing was a lot on aliens, like what just came out, and then mine is more of like paranormal thing. I personally have been trying to track down. I remember reading an article. I don't know where I found it, but reading an article about how the Vatican released certain things on exorcisms, and I have got to look because I don't know where I read that, and I don't know where, but it was like, they changed how they were doing their quote unquote secret vault, and they released some information, and I'm like,
there's miles and miles of rows of information that's yet to be released.
Yeah, I know.
There's that urban legend that like majority of the scrolls and the information that was lost in the Library of Alexandria is there.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I feel like there's a lot of stuff that is hidden, but whatever we can kind of find and dig up, I will try and dig up. So
yeah, next week, declassified files and documents and such.
Yeah.
So look for that one, guys. I do have a Saturday Night Live, as always. But our guest Saturday is going to be
Oscar from Induced Fear podcast. Sorry, I had a fart. I mean, a brain fart, not an actual fart.
You did earlier.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
It was loud.
I don't do that. I'm sorry. I don't do those kind of things.
Okay, whatever you say.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a Saturday Night Lives with Oscar. And we're going to talk probably most things paranormal and whatever else we can come up with.
Yeah.
Yeah. And guys, if you want to be on you want to have a conversation with me or Megan, or
eventually I will get on there. I promise.
Just DM us or go to the email, which is where?
Email you anytime you want to email us anything, because I know a lot of people have emailed us stories and stuff. It's just hidden in the podcast at gmail.com.
Yeah. Okay.
But if you go into our Linktree link, which the URL is in the description of our Instagram, if you go into there's a link for scheduling either us to go on a show, like maybe on your podcast, or to do a live with us, and you can kind of schedule it. I did that just so it's easier maybe down the road when we get more followers or more people that want to be on it. It's even keeled because it like literally goes by our schedule. So if we can't respond to your GM right away, it's kind of like still a first come first serve kind of like thing. Yeah.
And me and her, or I know I can talk about most things. So good, Megan, when it comes to anything about the paranormal.
Yeah.
Or psychic mediums.
But I'm just going to warn you too, though. Because I have never done a live by myself, and I've never done so. I don't know. I know when I do like interviews with people, sometimes I pick up stuff. So I don't know what the heck I would pick up on a live. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, if I'm talking to the other person and something comes through, it's either going to come out of my mouth, what's coming through, or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that would be interesting. So I don't know.
Or you want to talk about pro wrestling, or you want to talk about metal?
Oh my gosh.
Or anything else.
And the scaring the people with the loud voice.
I bring it in real softly. I make him interested when he said, out of nowhere, I'll start talking loud.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Anyway, yeah. So tune in Saturday for my live with Oscar.
Yes.
And next week tune in for our episode all about the classified files.
Yeah.
And we'll catch your weirdos in the next one.
Yes.